Go, go, go. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. Go, go. Go, go. There, that's a properly appropriate and energetic go, go. Hi, you chat. As you can see, I am not feeling too well. I'm not feeling too well today. I can explain. It started with the coffee. First, let me greet people in chat. Hello, Loli. Hello, Stysine. That's it. Okay. Hello. It started with the coffee. Okay. So I thought today I would get myself a little treat. Right? I'm not sick. But I'm not feeling well. I thought I would get myself a little treat, right? So I was like, what if I went and I got breakfast? Now there's this grocery store that has a hot bar in the morning, and if you go on the weekends, they have breakfast. They have like a breakfast buffet. So they have like sausage and bacon and little potatoes and omelets and blintzes and pancakes and scrambled eggs, stuff like that, you know. So I got a little bit of the potatoes, a little bit of the bacon, a little bit of the sausage, a little bit of the egg, and a biscuit. I didn't get the gravy because I had to carry it all the way home. I could have just eaten it there, but I wasn't thinking. Anyway, so I grabbed it. I didn't grab the omelet or the blintzes because I don't like them. I don't even really like eggs. But anyway, I grabbed them, and they have a beautiful bakery. So I went to the bakery, and they had the most beautiful cake, chat. The most beautiful cake, and actually it wasn't expensive. It was pretty cheap for a cake. For a whole cake, a really fancy, nice cake, it was pretty cheap. So, I got the cake. I'm sorry, I got the cake, chat. I bought the cake. And they had a sale on stuffed animals. It was $2 for a whole squishmallow. So I got a squishmallow and dessert and a cake. Right? Okay, you with me? Okay. Oh, and then I saw they had a Starbucks. This is not sponsored. They had a Starbucks, okay? Starbucks. Aru. They had a Starbucks, right? And they had that new lavender thing I wanted to try, right? The lavender matcha whatever, right? Okay? But I don't like matcha. So I looked at their menu and they have a lavender frappuccino type thing. So I ordered that. Let me tell you, chat. That lavender frappuccino, so good. That lavender frappuccino was so delicious. It was like the yummiest thing I have ever tasted at Starbucks. It was so good. It's like a marshmallow, white chocolate flavor with like a little bit of a hint of lemon afterwards. But not like sour, like a sweet lemon. But I don't like lemon at all. And then, let's see, I got the lavender and I tried it and it was delicious. It doesn't really taste like lavender at all, but I tried it and it was delicious. I am in pain. Long story short, I am in so much pain. Hello, Jitsu. Hi. I'm just giving everybody the rundown of how I am today. I am in so much pain, chat. It started with that stupid coffee, but it was so good. I couldn't stop drinking it. It was so good. The lavender frappuccino. This is not sponsored. I just love Starbucks. You know what, chat? I should have seen this coming because I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, but sometimes, like at school. Okay, first I got the pumpkin spice latte last year in the fall, right? And it was hurting my stomach, so I stopped it. And I switched over to strawberry milk, right? I stopped drinking the pumpkin spice latte and I drank the strawberry milk. Guess what? That also hurt my stomach. But sometimes when I eat ice cream, it hurts my stomach. But I have, what is it? Mama Kuma cannot handle lactose, so we have lactose-free milk. So I drink the lactose-free milk. I don't think I'm lactose intolerant, though. I don't think I'm lactose intolerant. Because sometimes it doesn't hurt. Sometimes it doesn't hurt. I'm in so much pain. My tummy hurts so bad. Worth it. Worth it. I should probably take Tums or something, a Tylenol. It was so good though, chat. It was so good though. It was so tasty though, chat. It was so yummy. I haven't drank Starbucks in like 4 months. I deserve it. I deserve it. And then I had a big slice of cake later. That was really good though. It was like a yellow cake with like raspberry filling. The frosting's really sweet though, which I suppose is the point of a cake. But the frappuccino, it did me in. I also don't think like avocado. Nowadays avocado hurts my stomach. I love avocado. I love avocado. But now, like in the past year, since I have even like a tiny bit of avocado in like sushi, I am in agony for the rest of the day. But I didn't have any avocado. All I had was the coffee. What is in a frappuccino? Somebody tell me. Somebody look it up. What is in a frappuccino? It was so delicious. I would do it again. I would do it again. It's so good. I need the lactose medicine thingy. Mama Kuma doesn't get it because she says it's too expensive. She says just don't drink it. But Mama Kuma, it's so good. It's so tasty. It tastes like white chocolate and marshmallows. How am I supposed to resist? It was so good, you guys. So I am in pain. Worth it! Worth it! But I am in pain. I am in so much pain. Oh my god. The cream? Maybe. I had it with whipped cream. I don't even know what is in a frappuccino. There's no coffee in a frappuccino, right? Surely there's no coffee in a frappuccino. Let's see. One time, my cousin, who's like a real health conscious, she was like, you should try some coffee. And I did, and it killed my stomach. And then she was like, you should try this aloe drink. And like, it gave me the worst stomach ache of all time. It sucked. So I don't drink coffee. I don't drink aloe. I don't eat avocado. I don't eat bananas. And certain types of gluten. Why is the body unfair to me? Anyway, so I'm not feeling too well. I'm in pain. It hurts. But anyway, aside from that, today we are going to be playing TOUCHSTARVED. It is an original English language visual novel, so it's originally in English. And you can tell from the art style. The art style is Western. It's not anime. But it's still really nice looking. The characters are really nice looking. And it's got like animated opening. It's real fancy. I looked it up because everybody was talking about it. And I saw the Twitter account. I looked it up. And to me it's like wrong to consider it an indie game. Because it's got like a lot of professional writers and developer people, staff, a lot of professional staff in the game. So I wouldn't really call it indie. Indie kind of implies like some degree of amateur, maybe, or unpolished, maybe. Anyway, like an indie movie, it's a different feel from a Hollywood movie, you know? Smaller budget, different actors, whatever. So I wouldn't really consider TOUCHSTARVED to be like an indie game because it's got like a lot of polish to it and like a bunch of professional people working on it, and it has a huge budget. Like easily 5 or 6 times my budget, which explains how could they afford all of this incredible animation and stuff like that, and like physical merge and all that stuff. We're gonna play through it. It's interesting. It's got like a lot of customization, customability. So we're gonna play through it. I'm interested in it. It's supposed to come out at the end of this year, maybe. It's been in development for a couple of years now. But it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 love interests, I think, and then each one is like 3 endings, I believe. I don't know. There's like 15 endings or so. So that's a lot. That's a lot. Right now, I'm really in a chat. I am in game dev hell because I'm in the middle of. There's like an issue with the script, so I'm having to go and edit it all for the programmer. What about the MC, the main character? The main character in TOUCHSTARVED, you can choose if you want the main character to be a man or a woman or non-binary, so you can choose. What really bugs me is that they don't show the main character, which I understand, they want to keep it like customizable, but it bothers me that I can't see the main character because I want to see the main character. You don't see their body or their face at all except for the hands, and that bugs me. I don't like that. But we'll get into it as we play a little more. Also, my commissions are open, chat. If you want to send me a little pocket money or help me save up for the convention, or if you want those H-Scene preview movies released, now is the time. If you want to commission me, they'll be open through, I'd say, the beginning of May. So yeah, if you're interested, check out the pinned tweet. Yeah, I'd rather have a named MC. Yeah, me too. Hello, Memento. Hi. I feel like the Starbucks cup having it here was a mistake because I feel like it's mocking me. Oh, you had the lavender frappuccino and now you must suffer for your sins, kind of thing. Let's get rid of him. Why do you betray me, coffee? Anyway, oh, one more thing. So next week we're gonna have 3 streams. We're gonna have 2 normal gaming streams, and we have a special stream. I have a collaboration going on next, whatever April 1st is, next Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday, I have a special stream. It is Angel Dust's birthday, so I am going to be throwing a birthday party for him because I love him. We're going to be having a birthday party for Angel Dust, who is fictional, and it's a collaboration. Ark, who you know, he voices Angel Dust in the game The Milk of Repentance, The Wine of Sin. He voices Angel Dust, and he'll be joining me. So if you have any questions or, I don't know, comments about the game, you can ask him. Just don't ask for spoilers. But yeah, me and Ark are gonna be talking, and just gonna be a free chat. We're gonna be celebrating Angel Dust's birthday, and Ark is gonna be... Can I move this? Yeah. And Ark is gonna be there, so if you have questions for him or just want to say hi to him, you can, or tell him what a great job he did as Angel Dust. Yeah, he and I are gonna be hanging out, and we're gonna be celebrating Angel Dust's birthday on his birthday, April 1st. I do not do April Fool's jokes. Some of you may know I do not do April Fool's jokes. They're not funny. I don't like them. I do not do jokes on April Fools. They're boring, they're dumb, I don't like it. But I will be celebrating the most important holiday, which is Angel Dust's birthday! So yeah, me and Ark are gonna be there. If you wanna hang out with us, you can. It's gonna be free chatting. And I'm celebrating Angel's birthday. He's my husband and I love him. So yeah, if you're interested, come check us out on Tuesday, 4 p.m. MT. Just like usual, same time as usual. Except it's a collab, so that's special. Anyway, why don't we get started on the game? And we'll see how things go. I do not know. Honestly, no. I do not do April Fool's pranks. They're not funny. They're not cute. I hate them. I have never done one in all my time VTubing. Anybody else will tell you. Alright, let's go to game. Tummy hurt. Tummy hurt, chat. Okay. Let me pull up the game. TOUCHSTARVED. Okay. Should be popping up. Okay. Let me make it smaller. And like that. That's good. Let me know how the visuals are. Whoa. That's a cool opening! That is a cool menu. Look how cool this menu is. How is the volume for you, chat? It's kind of covering OBS. Chat, how is it? Can you hear it? Can you see it? Is everything going on okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. My favorite is this one, the white-haired one. This one right here. I like the feminine. Of course, the most feminine in one. Alright, let me just make sure it's working right in OBS. Looks like it is. Okay. Press any button. That's such a cool menu. New game! And the spooky vocals are cool too. Disclaimer. Turn music volume down to 0, fight me. This is a demo, blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah. Oh wait, I missed something. Okay, bye Loli, I hope your foot is better. Ooh, okay. Kumakko! Choose your pronouns! She, her. This world began to unravel long before you were born. It began with fogfall. Spectral mist bled from the seams where reality was so thin it split. And from that fog emerged monsters, inhuman beings with unnatural powers. Some possessed language and intellect. Others were mindless beasts, driven by little more than the desire to slaughter. Oh. As cities fell and unrest spread, humans united in their fear, while monsters thrived in the chaos. And then there's you. You're not even sure if you're human. You were born cursed, with hands that alter the minds of anyone you touch. Choose your backstory. This is a lot like Code Realize? Yeah, this is a lot like Code Realize, in which she had hands that were like poison, and if she touched anybody it would burn them like acid. It's a lot like that. Ooh! Let's do a poll, chat. Let's do a poll. options. The unnamed, a fallen oracle. You were raised as an oracle in a remote temple. The priests claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but a visiting mage revealed your curse for what it is. Following the mage's word, you fled in search of the cenobium. You regularly experience unnatural premonitions that rattle your body and soul. An innate sixth sense gives you a heightened awareness of hidden supernatural presences around you. The Hound, a forsaken thief. You were raised by society's outcasts, criminals who accepted you when nobody else would. Your partner in crime, a friend since childhood, Osananajimi, helped you steal enough money for a cure, and then betrayed you. They left you with only enough coin to travel to the cenobium, your last hope. You have sharply honed social intuition. You can survive and even thrive in the violent underbelly of any city, using your experience with the underworld to get ahead. The Alchemist, an abandoned mage. An exiled cenobium mage took you in as a child, raising you as her apprentice. She seemed to take pity on your curse, but you discovered that she was cultivating you as a test subject. You fled to the cenobium, seeking a cure. You are an experienced spellcaster with an encyclopedic knowledge of alchemy, spellcraft, and history. With a little observation, you can identify the subtle effects of magic. Unnamed? Aww. But I wanna do the alchemist. I wanna do the alchemist. I wanna be the alchemist. I wanna be the spellcaster. I mean, they all sound interesting, but the Hound is not for me. I don't think I'd be a good thief. I'd be the mage or the oracle. And the oracle sounds interesting. I'm curious. The priest claimed your touch bestowed enlightenment, but it really you just made people go mad. So I'm curious, how did the mage reveal your curse? I don't know if they really go into it or not. The custom ability is interesting. It's interesting. Well, what if I do the thief though? The custom ability is interesting, but I wonder how it impacts the game. That's like 3 totally different routes, right? Totally different characterization and personality. Alchemist, unnamed, Hound. Okay, Alchemist is 67%. Unnamed is 33%. Okay, I'll give you another minute and then we'll proceed. Alchemist Kuma could be interesting. Rengen Jitsushi. It makes me think of Fullmetal Alchemist. Or as a scientist potion kind of lady. Potion Kuma. Oracle is like a prophet? Like a prophet Kuma? And then Thief Kuma. We don't even know how much this matters. Yeah, but isn't it interesting? Alchemist? Okay, we'll do Alchemist. The Alchemist. Your name is Kumakko. You selected she, her pronouns. Your backstory is the Alchemist. Is this correct? Yeah. What if I didn't know? Yeah. I'm sure it matters. The wasteland stretches as far as the eye can see. There's nothing out here but death, the ever-present stench of decay, and countless sun-bleached bones cast like seeds across the barren land. Okay, good writing so far. I could say death doesn't scare me, but to tell the truth, I'm desperate. It's been 2 weeks since I joined a caravan bound across the wastes. Finding a group that would accept me was a trial in itself. As rations grew sparse and my canteen ran dry, I began to despair. Ooh, this BGM is interesting. Eridia, the city of knowledge, one of the last bastions of humanity left in the world and home to the famous academy called the Cenobia. All the world's knowledge gathered in one place. If there's anywhere I'll find a cure for my curse, it's there. All that stands between me and a cure is the final stretch of salt-soaked wastes. Or so I think, until I see the first tendrils of fog snaking beneath the wagon. Uh-oh. Is this fogfall? My stomach sinks at the very whisper of it. A silent storm more devastating than fire. Dangerous in cities, but a death sentence beyond them. Good world building. I like it. Are they even gonna let you in? Imagine you come all this way and they're like, no, you're cursed, you can't come in. A thick blanket of fog engulfs us, smothering out the lantern's light. The wagon lurches to a stop. I like the sound effects. An eerie silence, heavy as the mist falls over us. The only warning we get is a strangled scream. Oh, there's no voice acting? Okay, there's no voice acting. That's kind of disappointing. Yeah, I did hear, according to the Kickstarter, they're gonna have partial voice acting. Kuroe-san, 聞いてくれてありがとう。今日は、英語のOtome-ge TOUCHSTARVED。これは触りたい。どうしても触りたいのタイトルの意味だ。ごめんね、今日は英語版なんだけど、クロエさんは元気? Okay, well, I'm gonna do my best to do the voice acting. Let me get a drink of water. Yeah, I did hear that they were gonna do partial voice acting. Which is wild considering how much funding they got. Why not spring for full voice acting? But whatever. It's also gonna get like a Switch port, I hear. Alright. Stay back! No! The cry dissolves into wet gurgling! Whoa! The wagon violently pitches to the side. I hit the ground hard, the air punched from my lungs. I do like this writing. When I opened my eyes, adrenaline lent sudden awful clarity to the carnage around me. I do like the writing. I will say, no, this is not a knock against the game. This is a good game so far. But the backgrounds, they're a little simple. They're a little simple looking. You could do a little bit more. They're a little simple. Oh, Genki, yokatta. A trader I once shared bread with lies face down in the mud, their back reduced to gore. Their back reduced to long strings of torn muscle, gleaming gristle, and exposed bone. Bodies litter the wasteland. Whoa. I try to rise, but my ankle explodes with pain so blinding, white blooms across my vision. Only when my eyes adjust do I see the dark shape in front of me. Ah! Spooky! Lizard thingy! A soulless stoops over the twisted form of a help me out. Caravaner. I freeze, but it swivels its head. A dozen bulging eyes twitch in my direction and blink as one. Interesting character design for this thing. What does it remind me of? It kind of reminds me of like the homunculus from Fullmetal Alchemist. Ooh. The soulless lets out an ear-splitting shriek and runs at me. But right before it reaches me, the beast barrels past, vanishing into the mist. Distantly, a horse screams in the dark. I need to move now. Oh, we have our first one. We have our first choice. Okay, Chad, I'll let you pick. Which one? Do we run for the city? Or head for the wagon? I'll let you pick. The city's too far, right? I mean, how far is the city? I do like the BGM. No way you can fight it! Thanks for your vote of confidence! Thanks for your vote of confidence. I'm touched. Run? Everyone is saying run. Come on. Come on. I can take him. No, I can't. Alright, fine. We'll run for the city. Alright. Run for the city! I take off, running deeper into the haze. The fog is so thick that I fear I'm headed in the wrong direction until I see a dim pinprick of light emanating from the shadow of a spire. It's faint, but it's enough. I came too far to die here. Rapid footsteps echo all around me. I turn in circles, frantically searching the opaque mist for the source. But the fog folds, twists, and stretches sound. Suddenly, the caravan's driver bursts forth from the fog. Our eyes meet too late. He slams into me, knocking me to the ground, and slips in a patch of mud. The solace falls on him as soon as he slows. Whoa. It catches the driver by his throat and rakes his stomach with razor-sharp claws. He comes apart like wet paper, spilling intestines and viscera in a steaming tide. Fighting the urge to heave, I claw frantically through the slippery muck for a handhold. Shit, why can't you use your cursed hands on the monster? My hand catches on the jagged edge of a rib jutting up from the water. Bandages unfurl around the gorge, torn deep into my palm. Oh, sorry, the gouge. The gouge. The pain's quickly forgotten when a hand closes around my wrist. Can you stand? One of the travelers from the caravan leans over me. We need to run. Yeah, he's got like some yellow veins going on there. They reach for my hand, and I realize too late that my bandages have come undone. No, don't touch me! The sensation of their thumb brushing the back of my hand sends a shiver down my spine. All it takes is one touch, and in the space of a breath, my curse takes hold. What if you just cut off your arms? Would that solve the problem? Uh-oh. Well, uh-oh. Their lips peel back into a deranged grin. Oh, this is fun. No, I've seen this face countless times before. This is my curse, madness of my own making. Their grip on my hand tightens until pain radiates from my knuckles. Let me go. Ooh, suddenly clammy hands crush my throat, choking off my breath. Ooh. Die! Die, 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 die! Spit bubbles at the corners of their mouth and flecks my face. The edges of my vision darkens as my lungs scream for air. Scream for help? Fight them off. Okay, more choices. Let's do another poll. Do we want to scream or do we want to fight? It's a titan. It's a person. It's a person. I don't think we can fight him off. I don't think screaming's gonna help either, but like, what can you do? You gotta try. Fight? Okay, you guys want me to fight? Fight, 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 fight. Okay, we'll fight. My nails gouge deep into the traveler's wrists, but no matter how much blood I draw, they don't flinch. The more I struggle, the tighter their grip grows. My pulse hammers in my ears, slowing with each thudding beat. So when were you cursed? Like from birth? This can't be happening. I'm going to die. And not because of the fogfall or the solace, but because of my own curse. Tears sting to my eyes. No, not here. Not like this. The hands drop from my neck, leaving me wheezing for air. My lungs burn with each ragged cough. My vision clears and the traveler's face takes shape, hovering inches from mine, lips still split in that macabre smile, even as blood seeps between their teeth. They give one last shuddering breath, then slumped over the claws hooked through their stomach. Aw, it's the lizard! You helped me! The soulless shoves the body aside, and the glowing eyes studying his leathery skin thin as though grinning. There's a flash of claws, red spill across my vision. I thought there'd be pain, but as I sink into the murky water, all I can feel is the grit of silt filling my mouth and the icy embrace of shallow water. Distantly, I notice an arm resting among an outcrop of reeds, mine neatly severed at the elbow. Oh! Well, there you go! Problem solved! It should have taken both arms. Without them, maybe I could have survived. Maybe I could have had a home. Instead, I'll die cold, alone, and face down in a desolate wasteland. Ooh, a fitting end for a monstrosity like me. Well, thanks for coming, chat! If this is death, it's not as bad as I feared. The cold is gone, as is the choking stench of bog water. I could drift forever, cocooned in oblivion, until all thought and sensation vanished. No curse, nobody howling at me in madness and terror, nothing at all. The thought has a terrible appeal to it. But the next moment, I take a reflexive breath. Air pours into my lungs, and then out again in a ragged gasp. Feeling comes flooding back. Warm cloth on my bare skin, a firm surface underneath me, a strange tang of sulfur in the air. I gotta do a voice. Do not be afraid. Oh, it's a person! There's actually a bad end. No, there's no bad end. Not here, at least. I twist my head towards the voice. Tears flood my bleary vision at the bright glow of lamplight. Am I gonna have to do a voice this entire... Okay, whatever. Try not to move. The voice is calm, steady, and commanding, but more importantly, it's a stranger's voice. One thought cuts through my mental fog. I have no idea who this is, and I'm completely at their mercy. Stay away from me! My words come out in little more than a creaky whisper. I clamp my mouth shut, hating how weak and helpless I sound. No. No? Who the hell is this? Another choice! I'm just gonna do this. I let myself slump back against the thin pillow, wincing when the motion jolts my head. Ah! Oh, wait. Ah, a cooperative patient. Thank you. The words swim in one ear and out the other, without much comprehension. I pull the sheet up higher, wiping my eyes until my vision clears. The stranger towers over my prone form. Warm light reflects off his pristine medical coat. Yeah, he's handsome. That's a coat? That's a medical coat? I instinctively shrink back, and that's when I notice that I'm completely naked except for a thin linen sheet. See, this bothers me. You don't describe the body of the protagonist because it's like entirely self-insert. That bothers me. Like, I picked she, her pronouns, so there should be a female body described. Naked, lying on a low cot with a pair of sharp golden eyes watching my every move. The man's gaze flickers to my exposed, unbandaged hands. I plunge my hands under the sheet to hide them from sight, although it's too late. He must have noticed what they look like. Strange, cursed, inhuman. I brace myself for his inevitable suspicion and disgust, but his expression doesn't even flicker from that courteous smile. He just watches in placid silence as I struggle to make sense of my surroundings. Where am I? Who are you? Be calm. You are safe here. Whoever this is, he clearly has no idea who or what I am. I've never been safe anywhere with anyone. Even my own mentor, my teacher, thought I was nothing but a convenient specimen to be used and discarded. Aha! Getting into that backstory. I scowl, pulling the sheet protectively around myself. Where are my clothes? The man's golden eyes narrow slightly. A sharp sigh rustles the papers in his hands. I see you are not to be dissuaded. Your clothes were torn to shreds when I found you, but I procured replacements. Yeah, I'm not feeling these backgrounds. They're just they don't seem to fit. They don't seem to match the art of the sprites. I don't know. I mean, I just expect more. I don't know. I feel like they could be more detailed. They don't seem to match the art of the sprites. Let me get a drink of water. I seem to be in some sort of medical clinic. Bottles of silvery alchemical concoctions line the counters in neat rows. The air makes my nose twitch, a whiff of faint smoke, something distinctly metallic that I can't quite place. A doctor produces a large, dense bundle of cloth, which he sets at the foot of my cot. He's easily a head taller than most, and I have to crane my neck to look at him. I do like the BGM. I do like it. Alright. Thank you, or could you step out? I should probably thank him, right? Probably thank him. Right, we should thank him. I should be polite if I can, especially since I don't know who this is, what he can do, or what he wants with me. Thank you. You are welcome. I'll leave you to get dressed. With the curt nod, he leaves through a narrow door. I hear a soft click as the lock turns behind him. So he locked you in. I count to 3 in the sudden silence. When I don't hear any more footsteps, I reach for the bundle of clothes. An itch on my elbow stops me short. I reach down absently to rub at it, and then freeze when my fingers meet a neat line of stitches. I know what I saw. That beast took my arm clean off. And yet my arm shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. Yeah, you know what? What happened? Was it sewn back on? What, can they do that? Like, and have it still function? And yet my arm shows no sign of injury apart from the black stitches poking through my skin. I gingerly flex my fingers, feeling my heart race at the sensation. This is impossible. I should be dead, or at the very least gasping out my last breaths. I squeeze my eyes shut, waiting for the pleasant dream to unravel, to wake up bleeding out in the swamp. But nothing happened. The seconds tick by, and my arms remains absolutely healed, my surroundings pristine and quiet. In numb disbelief, I reach for the replacement clothes and begin stiffly pulling them on. They're thicker and warmer than mine were, with black woolen cloak to go with them. But there's still one thing missing. My bandages. The golden-eyed man didn't leave me with any, even though I know he saw my hands. I slide off the bed and take a few unsteady steps towards one of the drawers. If this is indeed a doctor's clinic, there must be bandages somewhere. I start opening drawers at random, and of course that's when the door swings open once more. Are you looking for something? I whirl around, clutching a thick roll of clean bandages. I try to step back from him, but my legs bump up against the edge of the cot. Your caution is understandable, although if I meant you any harm, you would know. That doesn't make me feel better in the slightest, but he makes no move towards me, so I quickly wind the bandages around my hands. The glowing scars and mottled skin disappear under a layer of clean white cotton. May I ask why you need additional bandages? I clench my jaw. I knew it would only be a matter of time before I asked about my hands, though the way he does it is strangely roundabout. These are just the same thing. Say nothing, glare at him, decline the answer. This is just the same thing. Well, the sprite fits better than the CG just before? You mean the guy who went insane? Let's glare at him. I fix him with the coldest glare I can muster. He doesn't even blink, muting my eyes serenely as I finish tying my bandages. I am not easily intimidated. I hastily break eye contact, but he says nothing more. At least he doesn't seem angry. I want somebody. I want somebody to draw me in the cloak and the bandaged arms, and it's like teeny tiny little Kuma glaring at this big doctor. But if he wants answers out of me, I'm still going to need some from him first. Who are you? We got a name. You may call me Kuras. And where exactly am I? Heredia, which I assume was your caravan's destination. I could think of nowhere else for a group of travelers to go. Heredia! So I made it to the City of Knowledge after all. I should feel relieved, but all I can manage is a vague sense of increasing unease. How did I end up here? I brought you to my clinic, of course. You were the only survivor from the caravan barely clinging to life. You needed immediate treatment. Which you provided? Yes. He says it so simply, as if I'm a small child and he's explaining basic addition to me. I frown and flex the fingers on my recently healed arm. Aside from being a bit stiff, it feels fine, thoroughly attached to me. You're saying that you stitched my arm back on? Pardon? A soulless attacked the caravan. It ripped everyone to shreds. It tore my army clean off. But when I woke up here, I spent my entire life learning from a Cenobian mage, and I know of no alchemy or magic that could reattach a severed limb. Even if he somehow could heal me by magic, I should detect traces of it, but I sense nothing out of the ordinary at all. The doctor, Kuras, pinches the bridge of his nose. He sits back down in his chair, quiet for a long time. I do not know where you come from, but Heredia is the city of knowledge and deadly secrets alike. Information is power, and it is most unwise to give or receive it freely. Since you have refused to divulge your secrets, I will not divulge mine. I do not even know your name. God! We picked the wrong one! Man! I was just... You are new to Heredia, so I will overlook the specific breach of etiquette. However, you should not expect others to extend the same courtesy. Do you understand? He looks pointedly at my freshly bandaged hands. Loath though I am to admit it, he has a point. I'm also a complete stranger to him, and if he's telling the truth, he saved my life. I take a deep, steadying breath. This time, when I speak, I sound a bit more like myself. Kumakko. My name is Kumakko. It is a pleasure to meet you, Kumakko. There's a little more warmth in his smile, his polite demeanor back in an instant. Fumi-san! 来てくれてありがとう。今日は、英語の乙女芸、TOUCHSTARVED をやるよ。日本語には TOUCHSTARVED は、どうしても座ってほしい。なんというか、座りたい。そういうの意味なんだけど、ベミさん元気かな？モーターバイクのツイート見たよ。危ないよ。気をつけてよ。Thank you for saving me. Why did you save me? 助けてくれてありがとう。そして、どうして助けてくれるの？Thank you. Thank you for saving my life. I chant to smile in return. Even if he won't explain how he did the impossible, there's no doubt in my mind I would be dead if not for Kuras. Think nothing of it.
Think nothing of it.
I'm not sure if he's just being excessively courteous, but his words only raise more urgent questions. But I have to ask, why did you save me? You don't know me. The question seemed to startle Kuras.
I could hardly leave you to die in the wastes. Assisting those in need is the very essence of a doctor's duty.
I've never met a doctor who also handed out free clothes. My fingers find the edge of the cloak. There's a subtle but delicately embroidered pattern around the hem. I try not to think about what kind of price Kuras might ask for such well-made clothes.
No, I suppose not. Forgive my presumption. I rarely come across so fascinating a patient.
Ooh, he likes us. I blink. What did he just say?
I simply meant that few clinging to life would... Oh, sorry. I misread it. I simply meant that few would cling to life so resolutely or brave such a perilous journey to Iridia. I could not help being curious about you, Kumakko.
Yeah, he likes us. He likes us. You're pretty curious yourself.
Am I?
Are we flirting? Well, I haven't forgotten about my arm. I wiggle my intact fingers at him.
Clearly not.
But you haven't asked me for any payment either.
I require none from you. Travelers do not have an abundance of coin, and it would be unethical to leave you destitute in a strange place.
You hear that, American healthcare? I fall silent, unsure what to say to that. Nobody would help a horror like me for free. There has to be some kind of catch or trick, right? No, it seems like he doesn't want any payment. A loud knock at the front door stops our conversation cold and spares me from having to say anything else.
Duty calls. Unfortunately, you are not my only patient today.
The knocking grows more insistent and Kuras lets out a tired sigh.
Please wait your turn.
Although he says it quietly, the clamor on the other side of the door abruptly stops.
Do you need anything before you leave, Kumakko?
Oh. Between the soulless attack and my miraculous survival, I'd almost forgotten why I came to Iridia in the first place. Jibun de noru no? でもカメラは悪かった？そっか。あまりわかんないけど、怪我がないなら大丈夫だよ。I need directions to the Cenobia.
The Cenobium?
The look on his face is downright chill. Oh, he's mad. The look on his face is downright chilling. He pauses, choosing his words with cold deliberation when he speaks again.
Whatever you seek, it is very unlikely you will find it there. The Cenobium's gate opened for precious few visitors. Even if they did, you would not like what you found inside.
My heart sinks. Is he saying I came all this way for nothing? Risked life and limb for nothing? No, that can't be. I've only just arrived, and Iridia is the largest city still standing. There has to be a cure for me here. And if not the Cenobium, where would you suggest?
Do you know anyone else in Iridia?
I shake my head.
Then I suggest a local guide. Head to the Wet Wick and ask for Leander.
Excuse me? The wet what?
The Wet Wick.
He sounds deeply unamused. Follow the postings advertising...
Follow the postings advertising Leander's bloodhounds. They're difficult to miss. When you meet Leander, tell him I sent you.
That isn't much to go on, but Kuras points toward the clinic's back door. You will be...
You will be safe, so long as you do not draw attention to yourself.
That's easier said than done. I've always been a magnet for the worst sort of attention.
If you require my assistance, you may return whenever you wish.
Ah, Although he's smiling, there's a note of finality in his voice. Resigned to my dismissal, I slip out the back door. Yeah, these backgrounds, a little simple. Anyway, I find myself standing in the narrow and rather gloomy alley. I pull the new cloak up over my nose, stepping over the contents of chamber pots that have been emptied into the street. Gross! Something weighs heavily inside one of the cloak's pockets, my coin purse. Everything is still inside, every last coin that I scraped together for the journey to Aridia. It doesn't even look like it was open. There were so few coins to begin with, they probably weren't even worth stealing. I glanced back to the clinic's closed door. Kudas didn't take any payment. He didn't even ask for a future favor. But he also said that in Aridia, secrets are power. Does he expect me to give up mine at some point? That's not exactly a comforting thought. Still, no matter why he did it, Kudas gave me a second chance and a lead on where I might find help. I'd better get going before he changes his mind. I squeeze out of the alley and into the crowded main street. The line outside Kudas' clinic stretches down the road already. Two thin peddlers queue alongside withered elders. If any place is in desperate need of a free clinic, it's this one. The cobblestones are treacherously rough under my feet, deep grooves worn between them by regular flooding and decades of hard use. I knew Aridia was a river city, but I didn't expect it to look so eroded. The buildings are tired and dilapidated, all crammed together in narrow streets. A child darts by, clutching something greasy wrapped in paper. The smell of fried food drifts over to me, and my stomach gives a faint gurgle. This morning's catch, fried up hot and fresh. Not too many eyeballs today. Ew. Ew! Ew! I don't want eyeballs, they're gross. That sounds disgusting, but I'm starving, so I duck my head under the stall's grubby awning. A large fish leers up at me, its three bulging eyes still visible through the thick layer of crispy batter. The vendor gives me a gap-toothed grin. What's the cheapest thing you've got? The vendor points at a metal basket of what looks like long strips of savory fried dough. Fresh, long glads, 3 copper apiece, don't burn your mouth. I take the coins out, counting them gingerly. At this rate, I might not even be able to afford dinner. Reluctantly, I drop the payment onto the counter and take my meal. 2 streets later, I pass under a wrought iron archway adorned with dangling garlands of red and pink lilies. The buildings in this quarter are a dizzying riot of color, painted walls and tinted glass everywhere I look. Sheer red and pink curtains flutter in open doorways. Musical voices call out invitingly. Incense mingles with the pungent scent of flowers, barely covering the salt and musk of warm bodies. This must be Aridia's entertainment district. I'm polishing off my food and dusting the crumbs from my hand when I spot a poster. It features the silhouette of a smiling man wearing a single dagger-like earring and the word Bloodhounds printed above his head. A motto, "As above, so below," circles the artwork. If Leander is the leader of the Bloodhounds, then the face printed on the poster is likely his. I follow the line of identical posters around a corner and nearly hit my head on a precariously dangling wooden sign. Looking up, faded orange letters read, "The Wet Wick." The facade of the building looks like it's seen better days, but I hear faint music and laughter coming from inside. Inside of the bar is a far cry from the abandoned exterior. It's not even midday, and yet most of the tables and booths are occupied by a loose assembly of people in matching green cloaks. I'm no stranger to bars. Sometimes I would take my books to the local tavern for a change of scenery, but I much prefer quieter places. Moo to me too. A cursory glance doesn't turn up anyone with dagger-shaped earring. I'm about to head towards the counter when a chant rises from the center of the room. Shout! 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 So far it's been pretty chill? What is your definition of chill? We almost got killed. Several people got killed. And we almost died. The remaining green cloaks abandoned the bar and their booths to rush toward the center of the room in a sudden torrent. There's no time to move out of the way. I'm caught, swept along in the ale-drenched current. Hey! Rhythmic chanting drowns out my voice. I thrash, throwing out my elbows as the press of body grows heavier. My hip knocks into a table. I grip it, holding on tight to steady myself. But the crowd has stilled, the chanting stopped. I don't know, in town it's been pretty rough too. Like, look at all the poverty. A pair of gilded boots right across the tabletop.
Seriously, you dogs again?
Scattered laughter and cheers rise from the audience. I drag my eyes upwards. Oh, handsome. Ikemen John! A well-dressed man stands on the table in front of me, his broad shoulders framed by the thick lapels of a trench coat.
This really is the last time, all right?
This time when he speaks, the audience falls silent, as though bewitched by his magnetic presence or rich, low voice. But nothing is as captivating as his smile. He beams at the crowd around him, a performer on his makeshift stage.
Don't blink or you'll miss it.
He laughs and the dagger-shaped earring dangling from his left ear catches the light in a flash of gold. It would seem I found Leander. He raises his hand above the audience and snaps. A flash of pale green light, real magic, no ordinary stage trick, blinds me. As the brilliance ebbs, my gaze refocuses on the mage towering above me. He flicks his wrist, the magic spiraling around him coalesces. A delicate flower stem sprouts from between his pinched fingers. One by one, glowing lily petals spring forth. With a flourish, the mage presents the conjured flowers. The audience bursts into clapping and cheers. My mouth hangs open, not just on account of his impressive performance. That was no incantation, no spell circle. I've never seen something so beautiful and intricate conjured so effortlessly. Leander must be an incredibly gifted mage. No wonder Kudas recommended him. I like the theme. Leander plucks the iridescent bouquet out of the air and turns in a slow circle, giving his audience a good look.
Now who could use some good luck?
Eager onlookers scoot closer to the table. Some reach for the lilies while others whistle and call out Leander's name. But his cool green eyes slide right over them, locking on me instead!
How about you?
My chest tightens. Every person gathered turns to stare at me. Take it! I reach out, all too aware of the way my fingers tremble as I carefully take the flowers from him. There's no weight to them, only a faint warmth that radiates from the stems. As soon as the flowers leave Leander's hand, their light dims. They fade away in a shower of opalescent light. To my surprise, Leander laughs under his breath.
That's the problem with flowers. They don't last long, but they leave an impression, right?
He grins at me, and I find myself smiling back. We're flirting with everyone. Leander steps off the table, dropping among the excited crowd with an audible clink.
All right, bloodhounds, get back to your drinks. Show's over!
The green cloak disperse at his command, turning to their tables and booths. Oh! Before I can make my way towards Leander, his eyes find me. He gives me a friendly wave and then beckons me over to the crowded counter. I see those eye bags. I manage to squeeze beside him, but there's so little room that his broad shoulder presses against mine. I tense, but he doesn't seem to mind at all.
This your first time in Edidia?
He says it lightly, with a genuine air of curiosity. Do I stick out that much?
No, but I'm certain I'd remember seeing a face as lovely as yours around Lowtown.
Yeah, he's flirting. Pretty boy. Playboy. Flirt. My eyes flicker to the polished countertop. I'm not used to flattery, and being this close makes eye contact difficult. Oh, I like how he blinks. As if on cue, the bartender approaches us. What can I get you?
Surprise me and add anything my friend wants to the tab.
I wasn't expecting the generosity, but I have to admit, I do feel a little thirsty after all that fried dough. Oh, have what he's having. While the bartender leaves to fix our drinks, Leander leans his elbows on the counter. I'm close enough to notice the purple shadows under his lower lids. Yeah, what is that? You got insomnia, buddy? What's up? What's wrong? His eyes wander over me in return, but when they lock on my bandaged hands, a sour taste rises in my throat. Here come the questions.
So, what brings you to the wick?
Kuda sent me. He pushes his hair back from his forehead, but it immediately falls right back into place.
So it's about work.
The bartender returns with a pair of glasses filled with what I can only assume is beer. I raise my glass and give it an experimental sniff. It smells faintly yeasty, but with an undercurrent I can't quite place. A quick sip confirms my worst suspicions. It's awful! Somehow briny and sour in a way that reminds me of pickles. But any thought of complaining dies the moment I look up and see Leander taking a deep swig from his glass. He lets out a satisfied breath.
How can I be of assistance?
I need to get to the Cenobium. As soon as the word Cenobium leaves my mouth, the entire bar falls silent. Uh-oh, I did something wrong. Bloodhounds twist around in their seats to gawk openly. Finally, an especially drunk one speaks up. The hell are you rigging up the Cenobium in here? Throw him out, this is Bloodhound territory. The vitriol catches me off guard. From the angry looks thrown my way, it's clear I've broken some unspoken rule just by mentioning the Cenobium. When I glance at Leander, he's drinking as though he hasn't noticed the uproar. Only when he catches me looking does he lower his glass.
For the love of...
He drags a hand down his face.
Hey, keep it down, will you? This is business.
I tense, expecting an argument, but the outspoken bloodhounds silently return to their drinks. Only a handful continue to watch me warily. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong?
Sorry about them. The Cenobium's a bit of a touchy subject in these parts. Mixed in enough drinks and, well, you saw. How about we continue this outside?
Wow. We're leaving. I give him a terse nod and he pushes away from the bar counter. Please don't rob me. I follow Leander to an alleyway tucked behind the wet wick, where layers of frayed bloodhound posters have been plastered to the walls. Seeing them side by side, the resemblance between Leander and his likeness on the posters is impressive. Kudas didn't send you here for help with the Cenobium, did he? From the look he gives me, he already knows the answer. I glance away. No, he didn't. He suggested I find an alternative.
Yet here you are, asking about them anyway. What do you need the Cenobium for?
I don't want to tell him about my curse. The less people know about my capabilities, the better. Thankfully, Leander takes my reluctant silence as an answer.
Well, I see you're already aware of the city's currency. Information's worth its weight in gold here. Kudos told you the truth. The Cenobium's dangerous. Get on their bad side and they'll imprison you if you're lucky, or torture you if you're not.
Torture? My teacher never described anything like that. But the Cenobium's supposed to be a place of learning, a sanctuary. The Cenobium has always been heralded as the last bastion of human knowledge, a shining beacon of hope in the world steeped with nightmares. If any place held answers, it would be the Cenobium. That's why I came here.
That's what they want you to think. But things that seem too good to be true are often just that.
Such a simple statement, and yet it leaves me reeling. If it's true, I staked everything on a lie. What now? Leander clears his throat.
But as I always say, there's solutions to every problem and alternatives to every solution.
He claps his hands and turns to me with a brilliant smile.
That's why Kudas pointed you to the bloodhounds. Let us help you, whether it's hunting soulless, finding people, or recovering stolen valuables. We can do it all, and free of charge.
I'm shaking my head before he's even finished his practice speech. My patience is wearing dangerously thin. Listen, I appreciate the offer, but my problem can't be solved by a group of good Samaritans. To my chagrin, Leander nods slowly.
Then your problem must be fairly serious, and if the cenobium's your first choice, you're searching for a magical solution, aren't you?
When my eyes widen, he nods along, as though he suspected all along.
I'd be happy to help you out. That is, if you'll tell me what ails you.
Why don't we just tell him? Worst case, you can make him go crazy. Leander might not work for the cenobium, but if his show was any indication, he's even stronger than the mage who raised me. She couldn't do anything about my curse, but maybe... I'm silent, plagued by indecision. I don't know if I can trust him, but it's not like I have any alternatives. I hate to admit it, but this could be my only path forward. My confession comes out in a pained whisper. I'm cursed. Cursed?
Oh, now I'm very curious. What kind of curse? Something ancestral or more recent?
He looks me up and down, taking in my face, my eyes, and finally my hands.
It's your hands, isn't it?
I wait until I'm certain my voice will remain steady before answering. My touch is dangerous. It changes people, hurts them. Before I'm even finished, Leander begins taking his glove off. No! He tucks his left hand free and flexes his fingers.
No! Let's see it.
He offers me his hand, and a prismatic flash of magic ripples across his palm. An enchantment for protection, but I'm already shrinking backwards. I can't. I don't care how confident Leander is. I can't bring myself to hurt him, to see his kind face twist into a mask of madness. Believe me, this isn't an ordinary curse.
I'll be fine. Perhaps where you came from, your affliction was strange and one of a kind. But spend a year in this city and you'll see 1,000 curses and thrice as many cures. Do you really think Kudas would send you here if I couldn't handle it?
How should I know? I only met him today.
I'm as good as any mage in the cenobium. Better even. If they can help, so can I.
You don't know what you're asking me.
I'm asking you to trust me.
I looked from Leander's outstretched hand to his confident smile. What if we just touched him and then he went insane? What would happen? Uh-oh, you're actually doing it? And then with a short breath, I begin unwinding the bandages from my hand. Fine, but if you lose control, don't say I didn't warn you. I feel like I should save. Pretty basic UI, I gotta say. What? What is that blush? What is that blush? Mister, I see that blush.
You can tie me up first if it makes you feel better.
That's not what I meant. With each joint I expose, I grow more and more certain that this is a terrible idea.
Ready when you are.
If he's bothered by the way my hand looks, he doesn't show it. My fingers hover shakily over his palm. What if you just like a quick tap? 3, 2, 1. Touch him! Yeah, I gotta save. I'm gonna touch him. I'm too curious. I'm gonna touch him. Yep, okay. I tap his palm once as quickly as possible. It's barely more than a brush, but that's all it ever takes. Uh-oh. When I look at his face, expecting to see the worst, Leander only grins.
See?
It can't be. This time, when I reach out to touch Leander's palm again, he catches my wrist before I can pull away. What? Wow. Imagine having like this affliction your whole life. And then like there's this guy who can like touch you like normally. Not in a dirty way.
I told you there's really nothing to worry about.
He trailed off and my thumb brushes the soft skin of his inner wrist. Look at that blush. Look at that blush. I search Leander's face for traces of madness, but his eyes remain a clear, soft green. Color rises in his cheeks, but he remains still except for the subtle bobbing of his throat. Ah! Interesting. Neither of us speak as I trace the contours of Leander's palm, lost in an awareness I wasn't prepared for. I've been with other people. Wait, how have you been with other people? Without hands that work! I thought you couldn't touch anyone. I'm sorry, I thought you couldn't touch anyone ever. And now you're telling me you've been with people? I've been with people, kissed them, been embraced by them and more, but not like this. How? I need to know how this works. What is the mechanics of this curse? Is it just the hands? Is it the arms? Is the rest of the body fine? I mean, you kiss people, so the mouth is fine. How does that work? You need to tell me how the curse works. The whole title of the game is TOUCHSTARVED. I thought that meant you never touched anyone your whole life. My fingers, long deprived by years of bandaging, pick up every single detail. The grooves of his palm, the smooth shell of his nails, the pulse of his heart. For as long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand. See? See? So how could you have hugged someone? As long as I've lived, I've never been able to hold someone's hand, not without dire consequences. I never realized what I was missing until this moment. While Leander's pulse is steady, mine is hammering as fear gives way to excitement. Let's keep at it. There's no H scenes in this game. Boo! There's no H scenes. My hand glides over Leander's wrist and up his forearm, where smooth skin abruptly gives way to the raised scar by the edge of his sleeve. It matches the one that runs from his collar to his cheekbone. Could it be the same wound? I glance at Leander's face, and his lips part as he considers his words before speaking.
Am I the first person you've been able to touch like this?
My hand goes still on his arm. So far.
I'll admit your touch does make it somewhat difficult to stay level-headed, but not due to your power.
He's a flirt. He takes my hand. His soft green eyes flick to mine before he turns it to inspect the golden fissures crisscrossing my knuckles.
Look, we match.
He points at a golden pin on his coat collar, and I give him a small smile. Aw, this guy's actually really sweet. I draw my hand back and take a steadying breath. My head feels as though it's stuffed with cotton. Habit alone guides me through the motions of rewrapping my hand, although my fingers tremble too much for the bandages to lie flat. I can't believe that worked.
May I ask your name?
I'm Kumakko.
You've a right to hide this from me, Kumakko. That curse of yours, it's unlike anything I've ever dealt with. I can tell you're discreet, but you'd be best not to go showing that off to anyone else.
I don't plan on it.
Are you staying in Lowtown?
I pause. Room and board was something I hadn't yet considered. I don't know. Hey!
Let's get you properly settled then.
Where are we going to stay? The wet wick is noticeably quieter. Without their leader, most of the bloodhounds have dispersed, or in a few cases, fallen asleep beside their drinks. Got any rooms left? Oh, sorry.
Got any rooms left, or did my lock grab them all to sleep it off?
The bartender, who I now realize doubles as an innkeeper, slides a key onto the counter. You know, I always keep the corner room open for your escapades. He's a flirt! He's a playboy! Leander's laugh sounds slightly strained.
And I always appreciate it, but you're mistaken. This is just for my friend, Kumakko.
Sure. Stay as long as you like. You two have fun. Escapades, huh? Leander clears his throat and holds the key out to me. But I hesitate. My coin purse barely holds enough for a day's worth of meals, let alone a room. How much do I owe you? Nothing! Bloodhound raids!
My treat, since you shared your secret. Food, drink, a warm bed, anything you need.
Aw, he's nice. Wow. Carefully, I take the key from him. It's small, but weighs heavy in my palm. I never expected to have a warm bed in Eridia, let alone free meals. Thank you. That's so nice. Go explore, Kumakko.
You'll find many roads in Eridia, each leading to different answers. But if you need a reprieve from what haunts you, come find me. Just be careful.
Aw, nice guy. Leander gives me one last friendly wave before I depart. What a nice guy. Yeah, he's a flirt, but that's okay. I wish there was a quick save option. The air clings soft and heavy. Without the morning crowd, the sunless streets look barren and bleak. Even the peddlers are long gone. Only a pair of crows remain quibbling over stale crusts in a gutter. I feel a ridiculous pang of envy. At least they've got reason to fight. I've never felt so lost. Kudus and Leander both made it clear that the Cenobium can't be trusted. But I came so far. Endured so much. You know what? I mean, what if you just stay with Leander? I mean, you can kind of live a normal-ish life with him. I need to see the Cenobium for myself, if only to satisfy my curiosity. I should have asked someone at the bar for directions before leaving. I'm about to turn back when a shadow passes over me. A cloud, I think, until a puff of hot breath tickles the back of my neck.
Whoa.
The shadow runs down the streets in rivulets. Formless dark spreads like ink into blotted shapes. Claws stretch. A muzzle splits open to reveal long, jagged teeth. A growl rumbles so low and deep I can feel it. I want to run, to scream, but I feel trapped, as though the slightest movement or a single breath will snap the jaws around my throat. No, I won't let it end like this. If I'm going to die, I want to see what got me first. I steel myself and then turn. Huh? The shadow vanishes as quickly as it came. I'm left standing in the middle of the street, alone except for a figure reclining in the shade of a nearby stoop. Welp! Oh! A new guy! A new guy! He's a cat boy! Holy shit, we have a cat boy! I like its theme song. A monster, that much is clear from a glance. One that could nearly be mistaken for human, were it not for the tufted ears, the tail curled around his ankle. Ooh, we got a cat boy! We got a cat boy! We got a cat boy. Or the dusk pink eyes with pupils that sharpen like needles when they fall on me. Our eyes meet, and the monster uncrosses his long legs. It's not back, I guess that was him. His hair gleams a shade of red that reminds me unsettlingly of blood where it curls around his collared throat. He's got a collar! What should I do for the voice? I have to think about it.
Jumpy, aren't you?
His tone is so light and carefree that I glance over my shoulder to make sure he's speaking to me. When I look back, the stranger props his chin on his knuckles and regards me with an inscrutable little smile. Did you see that shadow just now? It was massive, moved like a beast. Even as I speak, I'm aware of how ridiculous I must sound, but the stranger's smile doesn't falter.
The only beasts I've seen are the Wick's drooling regulars, although this did catch my eye.
Ah, you stole my key! With the flourish of his hand, my in-room key appears dangling from his finger. It turns on its chain, glittering when it catches the light. You thief! You sexy thief! Eroge-jan. My hands fly to the cloak's pocket, and sure enough, find them flat. He crooks his finger, beckoning. I've already taken 2 steps forward before some stifled instinct stops me. Something feels wrong. I'm still on edge, thrumming with so much adrenaline that the stranger's shadow flickers at the edges of my vision. I always attract the worst kind of attention, but I can't get rattled now. Well, we know he found it in our pocket. Who said that key's mine? He smiled wide enough to reveal pointed canines.
I saw you drop it. You should really be more careful. A city like this, somebody might take advantage.
A bald-faced lie said without a hint of irony. I can't figure how he picked my pockets under my nose, but I'm certain he took my key and I need it back. I approach the man, careful to keep an arm's length away. He doesn't look dangerous, but the most deadly ones never do. Hot. The stranger's chain softly clinks with the tilt of his head. His ears flick.
Keeping your distance?
I'd be stupid to trust you. Why can't we not have a single showdown? You think I
stole your dinky little key from all the way over here?
Yes, I do!
I'm good with my hands, but not that good. Do I really look like a common thief to you? Yes!
Yes! He's got me there! The sheer fabric of his sleeves alone would be too expensive for most street thieves. Hell, his shoes look like they cost more than I spent traveling here. And then there's the shop behind him. No matter the city, parted pink curtains can only ever mean one thing. I'm not looking to buy, and I doubt I could afford your services anyway.
Luckily for you, I don't charge.
Why are all these men so sexy? They're so flirtatious, everybody here. The man runs the tip of his tongue over a fang, and for the first time since I stepped into that shadow, I feel something other than dread. My face grows hot. Why are there no age scenes? Boo! Boo! どうして一シーンがないよ！残念ながらね。僕は一シーンやりたいよ。That's not what I meant! What is this?
I'm flattered, really. Were sex my trade, I might even make an exception for you. How about half off for a handy?
Or you could just hand over the key!
Pass nicely, and I might even let you tuck my tail.
I love it! I love it! Just wait for the full release. There are no age scenes in the full release either. There are no age scenes. This is an all ages game. Disappointingly! I like how there's like violence, yup. Madness, yup. Gore, yup. Sex, no! That's too far! Cowards. Just throw it here!
So some spindly little street urchin could snatch it and run?
He raised my keys and tilts his head so he can watch it dangle back and forth.
I suppose I could just claim your room for myself. Not that I'd be caught dead slumming it in the wick with the rest of those slack-jawed imbeciles.
Ooh, he's feisty.
You're obviously not from around here, so tell me, traveler, what misfortune brought you to this wretched place?
His voice practically drips with derision. I'm not telling you anything.
What could have possibly drawn you to this dreary little pig pen, I wonder?
He listlessly watches the arc of my key swinging around his finger.
The weather's shit, the food's wreck, and there's entirely too many monsters for a human to feel safe. Unless...
Dagger-sharp eyes flick towards me. They gleam with amusement.
Unless you're just dying.
Are you a monster fucker?
Unless you're just dying to consort with monsters. Consort.
Consort. Sure, consort. I would consort with you. I would consort with you so hard. By now, my embarrassment has worn away, leaving simmering impatience in its place. If this is a shakedown, it's the most frustrating one I've ever heard of. Why not, man? Why not?
How'd you know?
So dumb. How'd you know I spent all my money, starved, and nearly died in a swamp just so I could crawl into bed with the first thirsty monster I saw? So, like, this is so dumb you're flirting with him. Is that gonna make him give the key back? So, are monsters like half human or what? How does that work? I don't know. I'm gonna refill my water bottle. I'll be right back. We'll continue in a minute. I forgot to mute. Crap. Welp. Oh, well. Sorry. I will mute it after the stream. I'll mute it after the stream. Where was I? That earns me a burst of breathy laughter. He gazes at me under his dark lashes. He's hot. Aren't you funny? Could you be any more obvious? I have been told subtlety's not my strength. So your place mine. If only I had my key, then I might be able to invite you up. His languid gaze slides from me to the key in his hand and back. Come, take my hand and we'll go together. Oh boy. What is his plan, chat? What is his plan? The more he flirts, the more I become convinced that this is some kind of trap. No matter how innocent monsters look, they always have some tricks up their sleeve. And something tells me this one's more dangerous than he lets on, even if he has a lovely laugh. I don't know what you want or why you're messing with me. But I'm not coming any closer until I know you aren't going to attack or bite. He's such a flirt.
I won't bite hard unless you beg me.
No matter what I say, he finds a way to twist my words into innuendo. I like him. Even when I'm silent, he goes on as though we're having a conversation, not a standoff.
Do you like dancing? There's a traveling troupe performing in Hightown tonight. Their lutist is utterly exquisite, truly a performance to die for. There's life in this dreadful place if you know where to look.
You sound like you know the city well. The man's gaze flickers from me to the key dangling from his finger. Naturally,
this dump was little more than a miserable little smear when I first arrived. Hightown, Lowtown, I know Aradia like the back of my hand.
What about the Cenobium? Do you know where that is? Girl, stop asking about it! Stop it! Clearly you're pissing people off.
Surely you've seen it, that absurdly large tower looming over the rest. It's a little hard to miss.
You must mean that spire I noticed when I first caught sight of it at Edia.
Cenobium's overrated. Forget about it. I can show you things those stuffy boars in their limp-dick tower couldn't even dream of.
I've already got plans.
Oh, have you some pressing matters at the Cenobium? Lunch dates with librarians, tea time with the most esteemed abbess?
That's my business. What's the matter to you? I square my shoulders and the amusement bleeds out of him. You lost. The stranger, finally bored of his tedious game, extends his hand towards me. The key rests on his palm, neatly dividing skin and leather. When he makes no other move, I reach for the key. But as soon as my fingers graze smooth brass, his hand swings shut around my elbow. Uh-oh. Hey! Uh-oh. Ah! This is dangerous. Is he robbing us? Chat? He yanks me down and I stagger, my soul slipping on the steps. For a sick moment, I fear my bandages will unravel under his touch. But he's careful not to disturb them even as his fingers dig into my arm.
I knew I smelled blood. You reek of death on the road.
Uh-oh. Look at his eyes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
And that fucking doctor.
His voice, once silken, lowers to a smoky growl. The shadows around him seethe and boil as he pulls me closer. And something else. Whoa! Spicy. He murmurs against my throat, nose grazing my jaw. Let go! I try to twist away, but he doesn't budge. His breath trails down my neck, sending a thrill of dread through me. But just when I fear he'll bite, he takes a deep whiff instead. Hello, Jitsu! Thank you for welcoming me back. His wide, flat eyes gleam with naked hunger as he gazes up at me. You want to eat me?
Not quite human, not quite monster. It seems we're both...
There! The stranger's ears flatten, and he releases me with a short breath. I yank my arm back, massaging it where his grip left grooves in the bandages. The stranger twists around to watch a woman duck out from the curtains behind him. Her Cenobian uniform is nearly identical to the one my mentor kept tucked away in her closet. We're getting some more world building. I leave you for all of what, 10 minutes and you're making trouble again. Will you quit harassing the tourists? The stranger, Veer I take it, rolls his eyes and flashes the cleric a withering smile.
So suspicious. Can't you see this is a friend of mine?
A natural liar! He grins at me and his tail swishes minutely. The woman purses her lips at me, clearly unconvinced. I open my mouth to correct him, but Veer cuts in.
I was graciously offering my friend some free advice.
Although his voice remains light and cheerful, his expression darkens.
Danger's drawn to you like a moth to a flame. It will always find you given time.
The woman clucks her tongue as though she's heard this recital 102 times. Word of advice, don't take free advice from lazy foxes lounging in the streets. This crook would sell water to a drowning man for the sheer enjoyment of it. She shrugs off a wilting look from there. Oh, please, any friend of yours knows it's true. Now hold still. Veer rises gracefully at her approach. He pushes his hair aside so it drapes over one shoulder, exposing the long line of his neck. And suddenly, it dawns on me that the jingling I heard earlier wasn't coming from the harness attached to his collar, but a leash. A heavy iron chain wound around a hitching post and padlocked to the back of his collar. Veer posed deliberately to hide his leash from me. He's on a leash? That's hot. The woman produces a keyring from her pocket. She rifled through a dozen identical keys before selecting one and slotting it into the lock. Come on, unless your friend's tagging along on a merry little soulless hunt, so he's like somebody's pet. Something. They're hunting for soulless inside the city? Words momentarily fail me. The woman regards me with a polite if tight smile before marching down the stair. Veer lingers. He stretches his arms over his head with a yawn, and I try not to stare at the way his stomach flattens when he arches his back.
Your little secret's safe with me. Try not to get yourself killed,
Veer hops off the stoop and bounds after the woman. His tail sways merrily, as though he hadn't just lied and threatened me. Did you try that thing I mentioned? The Leventian knot? The one where you take 3 fingers and... Actually, don't tell me. Knowing you is disgusting. Veer's airy laugh echoes down the street. It's only after he and the cleric have vanished from sight that I realize I'm still missing something. Wait! Reflectively, I shove my hand into my pockets and find it. The room key. I pull it out of my pocket and raise it to the light just to be sure. A nagging feeling distracts from my relief. I don't know what Veer's game was or what he wanted from me. All I know for certain is that the Cenobium saw fit to leash him. A fate I could share, if that's what his vague warning meant. Yeah, so he's on a leash. So who decides that? I guess the Cenobium lady does? I let my eyes drift skyward, past the lanterns gently swaying in the breeze, to the Cenobium faintly visible through the haze. Just one glimpse is all I need, and then I can put all this behind me. This time, the key goes into my coin purse for safekeeping. It's easy enough to follow the sluggish river that splits Eridia in two. A colossal bridge arches over the dark water below. I cross quickly as I can, climbing ever uphill towards the distant tower. Girl, stay away! Hours later, legs aching, sweat beading on my forehead, I finally found what I was searching for. The Cenobium of the Luminous Void. It stands at the highest point of Eridia, surrounded by cold white walls. Well-dressed people stroll down the walkways, paying no attention to the massive tower in their midst. Hey, hello, welcome! Hey, I didn't know you were here. I do like the art style of this game. I like the art style too. I just feel like the backgrounds are a little simple. Let me get a drink of water. Knocking seems like a terrible idea, but I don't see any other way of making my presence known. I'm halfway up the steps when something moves in my peripheral vision. Ah! A shadowy figure crouches beneath one of the white walls. They reach out and tug on a vine, as if testing its strength. Oi, you there! The shadow vanishes as quickly as I spotted it, and a gaunt-faced man in a crisp charcoal uniform marches up the steps towards me. Ugh, another tourist. Get out of here once you're done walking. A dismissive wave accompanies his equally dismissive words, and he turns on his heel without even waiting for an answer from me. I look back at where I saw the intruder, but there's nothing, just the leaves blowing gently in a cool breeze. I step away from the gates, hopelessness washing over me. Huh. A whisper, so close I can feel the warm brush of breath on my skin. I instinctively jerk away, but there's no one beside me. Halfway down the staircase, I spot a woman swaying in the breeze. She's gaunt as a rail, her blouse moth-eaten. I'm unable to take my eyes off her, not because of the way she smiles a little too widely, or the way her tousled braids look unbrushed for days, but because her eyes shine in vibrant, unnatural crimson. I'm both entranced and unsettled by their subtle glow. These days, you need a miracle to get in there. I'm unsure how to respond, or even if I should. Let's maybe not piss her off. After the experience I've just had, I'm not too keen on indulging strangers with small talk. Despite my silence, she maintains her unflinching stare and smile. Luckily for you, I have miracles for free. Whatever she's selling, I'm not interested. My words come out in a tired breath. No thanks. I start down the stairs, but she abruptly steps into my path. She turns her back to me, and before I can react, she slips her fingers under the lacing of her collar, stripping out of her blouse in broad daylight. What are you doing? As worn fabric unveils bare skin, my panic is smothered by cold horror. A misshapen, sunken scar carves into the woman's body. Pitted, gnarled skin snakes down her shoulders, blooming from a gaping hole in the back of her neck. A shuddering breath escapes me. The fuck? By the looks of it, the disease that afflicted this woman ate away at her spine, leaving her with a hollowed vertebra at the back of her neck. How are you still alive? How is she able to move or breathe? It's impossible. She shouldn't be alive, and yet... The power to cure anything can be yours too. The power of the sea spring. Let's not take that cure, huh? The woman slides back into her blouse and deftly laces it up. If I've caught your interest, then follow me. It's only a short walk away. Without another glance, she leisurely strolls down the cenobium stairs, loose braids bobbing behind her. The edge of her scarf peeks out from under her collar. I stand there wordless until I manage to regain my bearings. It's a twisted miracle, but a miracle nonetheless. This could be the stupidest decision in my life, but what choice do I have? I take a final look at the cenobium's shut gates and then follow her down the steps. We descend from the higher streets, leaving behind their gilded decadence as we cross the river. The wet, derelict districts feel more familiar to me. But the crimson-eyed woman takes me farther, and then farther still until I'm met with an all-too-familiar sight. No! My gut lurches when I face the open horizon. The city's outskirts are hardly recognizable in daylight, probably safer to it, but venturing beyond Eridia's walls is a gamble I wasn't prepared to take so soon. Keep going straight, and the sea spring will reveal itself to you. No thanks! No thanks! I'd rather not. Are you kidding? It's not safe out there. You're as safe inside the city as outside of it. Truthfully, the territory before you is the safest of all. What do you mean, territory? This region belongs to, Ice? Ace? Ice? Most people know him as a gang leader, but he's much more than that. I squint against the empty wasteland. Only a fool or someone with nothing to lose would leave the city. Apparently I'm both. But if the sea spring cured her, I need to see what it can do for me. Girl, no. Good luck, Kumakko. I hope we meet again. How does she know my name? My heart pounds with each step I take from civilization. For what seems like an eternity, I force each foot forward, one step and then another, until a realization hits me. I never told the woman my name! Yeah. Something's afoot. Something pierces the horizon ahead of me. A building nestled into a tall cliffside, but so starkly out of place it might as well be a hallucination. It drips with extravagance and honeyed mahogany, an ornate jewel of architecture. A row of dark silhouettes stand out on the horizon. Trees, I think, until I'm close enough to realize that what I mistook for branches were spikes and jutting tendrils. Soulless. Several of them watch me in the distance like statues. I don't think, I just run. Exploding into a messy sprint, I push my legs as fast as they'll take me toward the decorated building. Flashes of last night chase me, the gushes of blood and screams of death, the smell of burning flesh and sour bile. I can't go through that again, I won't. The next day, I know I'm dashing up wooden stairs and crashing through towering double doors. I gasp for air, my lungs burning from exertion. I'm desperate to be safe, but when I process my surroundings... Save. It's more hellscape than sanctuary. Blood flows all around me, overwhelming my vision with lurid, unholy red. Instinctively, my hand leaps to my mouth. But the rotten stench of blood never comes. Instead, a smoky scent hangs in the air, sharp and spiced. I swallow thickly, convincing myself it's not as gruesome as it appears. It has to be the sea spring, the place that grants miracles. Pulling my eyes away from the pool, I take in the rest of my environment. Tall pillars flank me, blanketed in written notes. Seating pillows scatter the floor. A rustic kettle sits nearby. Someone must live here, despite how eerie empty it is. Well, we're here! Hello, is anyone there? My voice echoes across the cavern without response. I approach the paper-covered pillars. Maybe something here can tell me more. I reach for... Ooh, we got a choice. We got a choice to make. Yeah, let's try the bottom. I reach for a note at the lower end. It reads... They watch me through the mirrors. They won't stop staring. They know what I did, but they won't have me. I'm safe now. I'm safe now. I'm safe now. All Cletus The writing deteriorates into an unintelligible scrawl. Before I can ponder it further, a sharp chill runs down my spine. Something's watching. What are the other ones? I'm curious. Dear Mother, don't cry for me. I'm sorry I didn't say goodbye, but we'll meet again in another life. I love you very much. Love, Iris. P.S. If you ever see me, never speak to me again. It's written in perfect cursive. I've never seen such beautiful handwriting. No one will read this, but it's not for anyone else. This is evidence I existed in this rotten, grim world. Even so, I wish I could have stayed longer. That bog girl will be lonely without me. I should have told her how I... Huh. Alright. Well, let's go with the middle one. Finally, I look towards the sea spring. The stillness hides something deeper, something wrong. Yeah, I would think the lady with the red eyes would tell you as much.
Hey.
I spin around and come face to face with a pack of soulless. Wow! They chitter and growl, tendrils and spikes flaring threateningly, all different shapes and sizes. All different sizes and species, but sharing one identical trait, glowing crimson eyes. I try to back away, but my heel teeters over the sea spring. I'm cornered.
Watch your step is deeper than it looks.
That voice again. At the sound of it, the soulless freeze, their snarls quieting. Whoa! Another guy. I search for the voice's source and find it above me, lounging in the rafters. Hi! Hot guy! Another one!
You look lost, little sparrow.
His gaze is a violent crimson, one that sears through me, leaves me feeling raw and exposed. Look at the tentacles. They're the same eyes I've seen over and over. First with the scarred woman, now with the soulless circling me, all bound by the sea spring's blood red. Look at those tentacles. In the shroud of darkness behind him, shapes like massive tentacles twist and coil around the wooden beams. I can't focus. The soulless' growls ring in my ear. They're not advancing, but that could change at any second. Panic rises in my throat as I struggle to track them. Hey.
Eyes on me.
My stomach rolls as I tear my eyes away from the soulless.
Don't ignore someone who's talking to you. It's not polite.
For a moment, anger knocks my fear aside. Who is this bastard? Fuck you! What should we pick, John? What should we pick? Which one? Which one should we pick? I'm distracted. Frick you. I'll do this one. I'm kind of distracted by the soulless about the mommy.
Only on my command.
Bastard. I scan the soulless again. They really aren't attacking, posturing more than anything else. You tamed them?
Power of the sea spring.
They're hungry.
So they might bite. You could give me a reason to stop them.
How about I didn't do anything wrong?
Trespassing.
And that's punishable by death? We'll do the other one in a minute. I called out earlier to see if anyone was there. Were we supposed to say hide and seek? Alright, let's do the other one. Fuck you! Fuck you! A crooked grin cracks across his face.
We'll work on it. Didn't hear you.
My voice stops in my throat. The man's terse coolness is both infuriating and terrifying. I rack my brain for a way to defuse the situation. Another one. Tell me what you want.
Your hands.
Take them! Take them! I don't want them. Take them.
Show me.
What?
One S twice.
I do like the BGM. With the sharp hop, I reluctantly hold out my bandaged hands. Are you getting off on this?
Unwrap them.
Ooh. Heat rushes to my face and fire to my tongue. I should give him a piece of my mind, but not when his soulless are one command from ripping me to shreds. Yet no matter how much I will myself to move, my body is frozen in place. I stand there for a long, agonizing minute. My hands are trembling when I finally raise them. I know the skin beneath the wrappings all too well, the hideous, unnatural flesh I've grown to despise. I grip the edge of the bandages.
Stop.
With a weary sigh, the man slides off the beam and lands with a thud that shakes the panels underfoot. He's a monster, with an imposing figure that towers over me. I couldn't tell how tall he was before, but he's big. Illuminated by lantern light, his features are stronger, sharper. So we got multiple monsters, multiple half-human, demi-human, whatever. Subtle clinks of metal accompany each of his footsteps. The closer he gets to me, the faster my heart hitches. What does he want? Is he going to kill me? I step backwards and find nothing to set my foot on. I've forgotten my back was to the sea spring. I fall, right before a warm hand catches my lower back. I'm hovering above the sea spring, the scent of smoke and leather enveloping me. Blazing crimson eyes bore into mine.
Told you to watch your step.
I'm too stunned to muster a response. Like I weigh nothing, he guides me back to solid ground and steps back. Following a subtle gesture from his fingers, the soulless around us disperse and relax. The shift in their demeanor is so abrupt it gives me whiplash. I need to get a drink of water. I want to continue, chat, but my throat is ready to give out. Maybe we should do a part 2? You want to do a part 2 next time, chat? Why don't we do that? We'll do a part 2. We'll do part 2 another time. Ooh, we got some CG. Neat. That's cool. Yeah, we'll do a part 2. I don't want to rush. We'll do a part 2. That's cool. We'll do a part 2 next time. Hi, chat. We will finish this off probably the week after next. We'll see. We'll continue it. We'll continue it, don't worry. It was fun. I just don't have much stamina. I do not have stamina. And my throat gets sore real easily. But it was fun. I like the art. And all the characters are really memorable. I enjoy it. Alright, everybody. Don't forget, I have the collaboration with ARC on Tuesday for Angel Does birthday. And commissions are open. So if you're interested, go check it out. Thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. See you next time. Bye-bye.